people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman. I love what she's doing. She's fighting for us. This is John Villarreal reporting for Conservative New Media.
Oh man, what an exciting day. Yeah, this is one of those days that just keeps getting better and better every minute. Ben this morning was just hysterical. We were having a ball. I don't know if you've seen the pictures on our website yet, but we were wearing turbans around the house this morning in celebration of the Ground Zero Mosque, which we can no longer call the Ground Zero Mosque. So since I can no longer say Ground Zero Mosque, I'm wondering what I should replace that with. What should I replace Ground Zero Mosque with? What should I say instead of Ground Zero Mosque?
Well, the AP, as I understand it, maybe I've got this wrong.
No, just the AP.
Yeah, aren't they pushing the New York City Mosque?
Yeah, that's what they want me to call
Which one of 130 New York mosques in New York City?
I don't know, but if I can't say Ground Zero Mosque, I need another phrase. So you want to weigh in with your phrase today, Ground Zero Mosque?
I want to hear from people. Like, what do you want to call it? What, number one, what should it be called, and what do you want to call it? Because that could be a little bit of a different thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to hear some names out there that people will come up with for this mosque. Is this Barack Obama's mosque? Is this the Screw You New York Mosque? I mean, what is this? What's the name of this mosque?
Any one of those you want in there. Don't follow the path of Dr. Laura, however. And
no.
Don't do that. Area 51, that's a good one already. Well done, chat room, indeed. Let's go to the phone. Steve's out in Surrey. Steve, good afternoon.
Hey, I'm not calling about the surrender monument.
Well done, indeed. There's one.
Driving me nuts. What's the name?
Let's go to Craig. He's in Waterford. Craig, good afternoon.
How you doing? I think that we ought to just call it the Bird Mosque because they're certainly flipping us the bird.
Wow.
That's a good one.
A lot of people said that.
I think that's the biggest issue. I don't think anybody that I've heard has a problem with legally building a mosque there because it's private property. But the issue is whether Charles Krauthammer made the comment that the Japanese are smart enough not to build a Japanese cultural center at Pearl Harbor, and that maybe these folks ought to be smart enough not to build one of these Ground Zero.
Well, let me ask you real quick about that, and I love where you're going with this. Do you personally have a problem with the Muslim religion?
No, I do not.
Okay, do you personally have a problem with a mosque, really anywhere, New York City or whatnot? Now, I'm not talking about Ground Zero or near that, but I'm just talking about anywhere else in the country.
No, I do not.
Okay, so my whole thing about this, as we said it before, we said it last week, is, look, I mean, first of all, there's all kinds of different flavors of Islam around the world, and not just Islam, but I mean every kind of religion out there. I know I'm hardcore Catholic, or at least my family is, but I go to church probably Christmas and Easter. I know I should do some Hail Marys for that right now.
That's not hardcore.
No,
Catholic.
but my family is.
That's a Pelosi Catholic there.
Fine. But I'm just saying my family, I'm just saying, and then there's the hardcore Mormons, and then there's the quote-unquote Jack Mormon, stuff like that. The point is that there's great Muslim Americans. I'm friends with a lot of Muslims, a lot of Muslims around here, people from Afghanistan, Iran, on and on and on. The point is this. At some point, if you want to, there's 2 points I want to make. If you want to get along with people, bottom line, you need to get along with them. And for whatever reason, New York City and really America has said, you know what? We don't want this. What's wrong with just working together? David Patterson has said, we'll work with you and move it along. I've heard that Geraldo Rivera broke some news on Fox News yesterday saying, like, someone's offered them 4 times the amount of money that they paid to move
somewhere else, but they don't want to do that.
Yeah, well,
there's a reason why.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what. And the second thing is, I'm so tired of everyone saying, oh, we're not at war with the religion. And that's true. But then their follow-up point on the lefties and on that unnamed super lefty channel here, they're saying, oh, well, you can't demonize this. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, there's only a small percentage of as my personal opinion, of Islamists, Muslim people that are extreme. But guess what? Unfortunately, if you look at Saudi Arabia and definitely Iran and even Yemen and Sudan, they're running the show. Okay, they're in charge. Look at what Iran did.
There's only a small percentage of people in this country that are pure leftists, but who's running things?
There you go.
On the web at KFIV 1360.com. So the question throughout the afternoon will be, since we can't say Ground Zero Mosque, that's the AP memo. We cannot say Ground Zero Mosque. So since I can't say Ground Zero Mosque, what should I say in place of Ground Zero Mosque? What should we call it? Your day to name it. 551-3043, 866-770-5556.
So what do you think about that mosque, though?
The mosque?
Yeah.
I'm totally against the mosque.
Okay.
I am, well, I mean, you want to talk theology or you want to talk politics?
Either.
Because there's 2 ways to go.
Right.
My problem with it is this.
We have to build the mosque as you are allowed to build church.
You didn't have your headphones.
Israel are built.
Damn it, John.
Sorry.
We have to build the mosque as you are allowed to build church, and the Israel are building their holy places. We have to build everywhere.
We have to build this on their holy places because the Jews are doing it. The Israelis are. This is a holy place. They have already decided this is a holy place.
Why?
So they have to build a mosque.
Why is it holy? That's the question.
Well, but we're never going to understand it. I mean, intellectually, we know why it's holy. We know that the reason they're saying it's holy is because it's the site of a victory. But intellectually, the country-wise, we're ignoring that.
Right.
But they're not. They've decided and decreed that place holy. Why is Jerusalem holy in Islam? It was never an Islamic country. He never went there. None of that. Mm-hmm. So they made up this entire story about Muhammad being carried by the horse to Jerusalem to go up to heaven so that they could claim it. This is the way that thing works. And so that's what they've done. And if we continue to allow that, if we allow this mosque to be built there, we are essentially acknowledging the fact that they have designated that as a holy place. And that's Hamas. And you can say to me, well, but that's Hamas. That's not American Muslims. But the problem is,
that's what I said. Who's running the show?
Who's running the show?
Who's running the show?
Theologically, who's in charge?
Right. Hamas, Hezbollah, the mullahs in Iran, and Ahmadinejad, and then King Fahd over there and the mullahs over there in Saudi Arabia. It's funding the whole thing.
It's the argument I had back during the election. Barack Obama came out and said that Jeremiah Wright, he'd never heard words like that. That's not what he really believes. Blah blah blah. But who are you going to believe? The politician that sits in the front row once a week, or the guy that wrote the book on black liberation theology?
Right.
Who are you going to believe? Who actually speaks for black liberation theology? Barack Obama or Jeremiah Wright?
Thank you.
Who speaks for Islam? The United States left,
right? Or
the imam over there in Iran?
And we haven't even hardly heard of it from any Muslims on the air. They won't come out and talk about it. The so-called modern Muslims, because they're probably afraid too.
Oh, you
saw the thing.
Chat room says you need to see an image of the Virgin Mary at Ground Zero, and thus make it holy. Do you guys do that?
I don't
Catholicism?
know. Well, here's the other thing about.
So you keep telling me you're a convicted Catholic, and
my mom.
I find out you're not.
I mean, I was an altar boy. Well, I earned my stripes.
Okay, no, I'm not touching that one.
Oh my goodness.
I am not.
Nobody touched that one. Nobody touched that one.
That's your story now.
That's my story. There will be no Boston investigation.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, but here's the thing. What about that Greek Orthodox church that they won't allow to be rebuilt that was there?
The
religion, right?
The government says that they offered him $60 million and a chance to rebuild, and the church is saying, we don't know what you're talking about. We never heard that. So.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
There's in a minute. All right, chat room. We got about a minute left before we got to kick back. But all right. So what do we call so far we got Area 51, Screw You Mosque, the Finger Mosque.
Right.
What else? I don't know. We'll throw it out there and see
keep
what
it out. Yeah.
Keep
Keep the names coming.
All right. So I'm doubting you will ever see the words Ground Zero Mosque in any of the local papers again.
Well, and I loved what you said the other day. I think it was a great point, which is, freedom of religion and the freedom to practice your religion is different than this so-called religious tolerance that they want to push on us from the left, okay? I mean, the thing of it is, part of my ancestry is Aztec on my dad's side. Guess what? 1,000 years ago or whatever, they used to sacrifice people as part of their religion. Should we have religious tolerance for that? I don't see religious tolerance to have Christian scientists not take their kids to the doctors when they don't want to do that. There's not always religious tolerance for the Amish and stuff like that. How much religious tolerance is there going to be for Mitt Romney if he runs for president, which he's going to do? I want to see what the press does with that, because I just don't want to hear anything about his LDS faith or anything like that. I mean, but remember, here's people on the left, Bill Maher and maybe others, possibly Jon Stewart. I don't know if I'm remembering this right. I don't know if I have this right. So this is my personal opinion. We'll make fun.
Okay.
We'll make fun of the magic garments, magic underwear and this and that. In fact, a lot of the left are freaking atheists, which is fine. That's perfectly their right. But they make fun of religion, and they almost seem like they're too smart for religion.
Except for Islam. Islam they won't.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what's so hilarious about this whole situation.
You know why? You know why they won't make fun of Islam? What happens to people who publicly mock Islam?
They get blown up.
They get blown up.
Look what happened to South Park guys. They make fun of everything, and they got scared away.
People that make fun of Jews or Catholics or Mormons or whatever. What do we get?
That's great. They get Pulitzer Prizes for that.
There you have it. It's 1:30. It's Afternoons Live on KFIV, AM 1360 Modesto, KWSX 1280 AM Stockton. We're staying live in the chat room.